What's going on, my trainer club? Today we're going to get you ready and prepped for Piplup Community Day in Pokemon Go so you can completely max out on all the shinies coming your way. So welcome to the trainer club. Here we go! Welcome back, everybody. Let me know in the comments below, are you excited for Piplup Community Day? Because I am excited. I don't know about you guys, but I'm in like a shiny drought right now, and I am ready to kick it up to the next level and get some shiny Piplups because they're super cool shiny colors in my opinion. That light blue, super awesome. I am excited to get after all the tips. So today we're gonna make sure we break down every single thing that we need to know about Piplup Community Day. One, so you can max out on the bonus, get the most shinies, have the most fun, and be the most effective trainer that you can possibly be out there. Before we get into my top 5 tips, I want to make sure you guys know exactly what you need to. So for the Northern Hemisphere, it's going to be from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sunday, January 19th. And then in the Southern Hemisphere, it's going to be from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. So make sure to know exactly where you're at, exactly what hemisphere you fall in, so you can make sure to max out. It's also going to have a bonus that's going to be 1/4 the amount of distance to hatch your eggs, which is going to be super effective, and it's going to be a really big part of this event. I love the 1/4 egg distance because you can hatch eggs so fast, you can maximize and make sure to get everything like that. And then also we obviously have the shiny Piplup, which hypothesized is going to be the Hydro Cannon. As of right now, the move is not out, but we will check out a best of the best to make sure we know exactly where the Empoleon with Hydro Cannon sits for the meta attackers and for the PvP purposes as soon as it comes out. So now let's get into my top 5 tips to make sure you guys max out completely so you can have the most fun, be the most effective, and catch the most shinies in Pokemon Go with Piplup Community Day. Let's get it right now. My tip number 1 is going to be to clear out your bag and get everything ready to go into this Community Day, because number 1, you need to have probably about 400 places open to catch Piplups. That's my recommendation. If you have 2,500 space, I would suggest trying to get it at about 2,100, because there's nothing worse than halfway through the Piplup Day having to go through and clear out your Pokemon. So number 1, clear up your bag, discard anything that isn't worth it. And since we have PvP, you have to decide, am I going to be a PvPer at some point, or am I already a PvPer? Because if this is the case, you really can't use any of these search strings like 4-star, 3-star, exclamation point, 4-star, and 3-star to hide them, and then you can go ahead and delete all the 1 and 2 and 0 stars, because if you go ahead and do that, that means that you're basically going to delete all the potential PvP Pokemon, which is not exactly what you want to do if that's one of the things you have to get after. So it's better to have more space and sift through all of your Pokemon at the end than it is to do what we have to do with these search strings. So that's what I would suggest doing as far as search strings go. But then you're also going to want to set yourself up with Ultra Balls and Great Balls. Preferably, the most Ultra Balls you can possibly have, the better. For my area, like I said in the pre-prep video, which we did last week, it is rare to have Piplups in my area, so I'm going to stack up on a little bit more of the Pineapple berries. Typically, I've been going in at about 150 Pineapple berries. I'm probably going to push it a little bit to 200, and then I'm going to start deleting Red and the Great out of my bag, and I'm going to start trying to stock up on as many Ultra Balls as possible. The reason being, if you throw an Ultra Ball at a Piplup on Community Day, because they're easier to catch during this time frame, it's going to be a lot easier to catch it with an Ultra Ball as opposed to having a Great Ball or a regular Pokeball. So that's going to be the best thing that we possibly can do right now as far as our balls go and as far as our bag items and storage goes. Which brings me to my tip number 2. Tip number 2 is going to be to get ready for the event. So you're gonna have to have all of your best friends, ultra friends, great friends that you're gonna stack up on all ready to go. And a lot of people have seen in my comments, like, why and what is the significance behind stacking up friendship bonuses for these community days? It's only because most people, if they maybe don't play on an everyday basis, maybe it's an every other day kind of game for you guys, or maybe you're every day, but some people don't play every day. So everybody pretty much plays on Community Day. So it's a great time for everybody to be active, pop an egg at the beginning of the event or the correlated matched up time that you guys can do so. Like I said, if you guys want some friends, definitely get in my Discord in the description below. There's friends bonuses from all around the world, and you can keep track of your friends in there. Just nickname the player that you have with their Discord name so that you guys can keep track of each other. And then you just want to make sure you just push it all together at the same time on one egg, maybe do a raid, catch some Pokemon, and boom, you have like 1,000,000 XP in like 30 minutes, which is absolutely unheard of back in the day. And then you have to decide, how are you going to max out on your incubators? Have you been stocking up your incubator distance like I've told you in the adventure sync? Because if you have been doing so, which I highly suggest you do so, which is quick steps real quick. turn on Adventure Sync, make sure everything's set up and working. Then you have to turn off Adventure Sync, close the game out, not just minimize it with a gotcha in the background. You have to actually close the entire game out. Force close it, whether it's on an iPhone or an Android, you double click it and you swipe up, or you just get rid of it. And then you're gonna basically do activity with your phone. It cannot be on low power mode, it has to be on regular power mode. Whether that's running or jogging or jumping jacks, whatever that is, that's gonna stock up kilometers in the background. You leave the distance off from the Adventure Sync, and then you're gonna try to stock up on at least 2.5 kilometers, because that's gonna be a 10-kilometer egg. So that means that every egg that you put on during Community Day is going to hatch on command. So once Community Day starts, you go in, you throw on all your incubators, then you go into these settings, you turn on Adventure Sync. By turning that on, it's gonna push through all that distance, hatch those eggs immediately on your star piece, and then you're going to get all that Stardust, and then you can start doing more eggs, which hopefully is gonna be 2-kilometer eggs that are going to have Piplup in them. Do you need star pieces for the entire time? Do you have an excess amount of star pieces? Because remember, I always tell you guys, never go below 10 star pieces unless it's during a double or triple Stardust event, because as of right now, this is not a double or triple boosted Stardust. Granted, you're going to hatch a bunch of eggs if you follow my instructions. You're gonna get a lot of Stardust. It's worth 1 star piece, but it's not worth 6 if you only have 10, because at some point and you don't plan to buy more, it's going to be more worthy for that specific bonus. So save those for that, but decide if you have excess amount, are you going to do it? If you are going to do any type of bonus like that, you're going to want to set up your alarms on your phone. If you're in the northern hemisphere, it's going to be 11 a.m., 11:30 a.m., 12, 12:30 p.m., 1, 1:30 p.m., and then 2, I would say, because that's going to signify, or even 1:58, the event is about to end, and you can make sure to put on any last Pokemon eggs to hatch at the end. Which is gonna bring me to my tip number 3. And tip number 3 is gonna be getting you ready to go. So this is gonna be during the event. Here's what I would do with the Adventure Sync going into the event. I would hatch an egg beforehand, and I would not put your incubator on before the event, because as soon as the event hits, that incubator becomes 25% of what it was previously going to be. So if you have a 2-kilometer egg, it's gonna go down to 0.5 kilometers on a regular incubator, which is huge. But hopefully you've been stocking up on 10-kilometer eggs like I've been suggesting you guys do, and as soon as that event hits, I would suggest using your super incubators, put on all of your eggs, and then go and turn your Adventure Sync on. Once you do that, it should blow through, if you stocked up over 2.5 kilometers, all of your eggs on that star piece, and then you have a choice. You can either open gifts and get 7-kilometer eggs, and then do this again by just walking your eggs out immediately. Just be like, okay, we're gonna walk one really long straight distance because that's the most effective way to hatch eggs, and then we'll start grinding more after this to try to get those eggs to hatch on the same star piece, and then you can start allowing 2-kilometer eggs if you want to do that. If you don't want the 7-kilometer eggs, just go ahead and start spinning the Pokestops and start getting the eggs and start putting them on. I don't know if I would go super crazy gung-ho on super incubators, but you can definitely utilize it. But star dust from the eggs, 2 kilometers, is not going to be the most effective. It's more going to be churning through those eggs and trying to hatch good quality Piplups, potentially shiny good quality Piplups as well. I'm going to give you the 100% IVs that are going to be out there for the eggs for the Piplup. Research tasks, if they are out there, even though they haven't said, but they did say Piplup was going to be in the eggs. Also, you want to be in a downtown area that's densely spawned, that has a lot of gyms and Pokestops to keep your ball replenishment up, as well as Pokestops to be able to spin and complete the tasks, which means do not catch Pokemon or complete any stops during the day beforehand. For Pokemon 25 to 20 minutes beforehand, I would suggest not catching Pokemon in the immediate area that you're going to be grinding, which is then going to lead me into what lure modules should you use. I highly suggest you have at least some glacial lure modules because they are going to boost the Piplup spawns. They do boost water and ice spawns, and since Piplup is a water Pokemon, it's definitely going to be something to do, and it spawns Pokemon faster. So this is a great time, and always remember this, guys, on community days, you're getting 3 hours out of one of these premium lure modules. So although they are 200 coins, it's going to be worth it. Let's say you have 10 players. Everybody buys 200 coins, 1 premium lure module. You're going to be getting a whole lot more Pokemon the entire time. Trust me, it's going to be worth it overall for your shiny count, your Stardust, and your catch count as well. So Piplup is a water Pokemon, which means it is going to get boosted in the rainy weather. So I'm going to give you the 100% IVs to correlate. So if there's research, it's going to be 460 as the level 1500% IV. If it's going to be hatched from eggs, it's going to be a 614 100% IV. If it is not weather boosted out, meaning it's not raining outside, it's going to be caught at a max CP level 30 at 921, which means the highest CP Piplup you will ever see in the wild is going to be 921 if you are a level 30 or above. So definitely make sure to keep that number in your mind, about 920, right? That's going to be the highest CP. So if you see like a 910, that's going to be a really good quality IV. High CP, high level, really good thing to catch if you're planning on using Empoleon as an attacker or just evolving it and being it relevant right away. And then as far as weather boosted, so if it is raining, not just outside, in your game, it is going to be 998 for level 35 100% IV. That's weather boosted. So that's the other 100% IV that then that level 30 921 would not be relevant anymore. You would only look to the level 35 at that 998, which is basically 1,000. Pretty easy number to remember. Which is going to bring me to my tip number 4. Tip number 4 is going to be use the skip animation catch trick. If you guys have not seen it, I'm going to put it at the end of the video, but you absolutely must use this quick catch trick. It helps out immensely. It makes your Stardust go up. It makes your catches go up. It makes your shiny count go up. So trust me, use this trick and keep maxing out as much as possible. Catch as many as you can. If you have some type of auto catching device, you want to set it to the stop so it can spin the stops in the background, even though when you catch these Pokemon, it does interrupt it. So definitely make sure to spin the stops as well and clear out all your research tasks as much as possible. And if you are a PvP player, you're going to be looking out for a 100% IV 0, 13, 15 at a level 19 and a half. So that means the Piplup needs to be below 2500 power up dust in order for it to qualify here. You cannot have it over, like if it says power up 3000 Stardust, that means it's going to be a little bit too high to be an Empoleon to maximize on PvP. So make sure to save up and get ready for this. That's what you're going to be looking out for the PvP, but I would suggest looking down into like spot number 8 or so where it's a attack 2, because you want to have a little bit higher of an attack with the new attack dynamic shakeup where the higher attack stat is going to get the first attack if you're both going simultaneously. Which is going to bring me to my tip number 5. Tip number 5 is going to be make sure to max out on trading afterwards. Preferably you would find somebody that's a little bit over 10 kilometers and trade as much as possible. But if that's not possible, doesn't really matter too much because you've been using my Pineapple Berry tips, you've been maxing out on all these Piplups, and you've been completing research tasks throughout the day. So you're gonna have a lot of extra Piplup candy, which is awesome, right? But you wanna trade as much as possible if you're looking to get luckies and evolve these Pokemon. With at some point, if it becomes some type of meta attacker, you can utilize it with the Hydro Cannon with this moveset. I would suggest evolving a lot of these Pokemon. Number 1, high CPs if you don't have luckies and you wanna trade for somebody. I would suggest evolving a lot of your shinies because Hydro Cannon is the moveset. And then if you don't get a PvP specific Pokemon, maybe team up with some people and be like, hey man, can you evolve a bunch of really low CP, like maybe like level 15 Piplups into Empoleon and save them, because I did not do this advice. I was so busy helping you guys prep for December Community Day and shiny hunting with everybody in Long Beach, I forgot to evolve some Venusaurs under that 1500 CP. So fortunately, Bulk was able to trade me one and it just came up huge for me as far as PvP for the Venusaur. So I would love to do this for everybody. Just make sure to have a surplus of a bunch of different Empoleons below 1500 and then high CPs for meta attackers and then your shinies as well. And if you do that and you did a bunch of grinding and you have a bunch of candy, even if you only have like 500 candy left, that's okay. You can always get more Piplup candy. We'll always have that potential, but the potential to then save for Empoleon all the way until next December, which is a long time away. Better to evolve more now and be prepared and have a few saved up extra to trade with people who may not have gotten one or who may need one. And if you have any lucky friends and you so desire to have a lucky shiny Empoleon, which I really like this Pokemon, definitely go ahead and do so and you can keep stacking up there. So definitely get out there, clear out your bags. Stock up on your Pokeballs. In specific Ultra Balls, stock up your Pineapple Berries. I would suggest over 200. If you have a lucky friend that you're looking to trade a shiny lucky Empoleon, do that on that day. Trade a bunch, max out, don't complete research tasks beforehand in the area that you're going to be playing because they're going to switch over to Piplup tasks that are going to be easy to get you items. And then make sure to look out for those PvP stats if you're a PvP player, or try to hatch eggs. Stock up your Adventure Sync push it on when the event starts, and max out as much as possible. So thank you guys for tuning in, all my likers, commenters, subscribers, and Patreon members for taking their subscriptions to the next level. I super appreciate all you guys. I'm gonna see you out on the next video. Peace! I just want to take a moment and sincerely thank all of my Patreon members, everybody that has taken their subscription to the next level and chosen to support me on this platform. I greatly appreciate you guys. As a growing channel and really trying to grow and improve as much as I possibly can, I really appreciate the extra support. You guys mean the absolute world to me. I cannot wait to connect with you soon, and I appreciate you guys all for being a part of the Trainer Club. I will see you guys out on the next video.